You left, you walked away, you built something new, and then the message arrived. A question, an apology, a memory, something small that opened a door you closed. And now you are wondering why they always come back. There are 5 reasons, 5 psychological mechanisms that make narcissists return to people who have already left them, and one way to stop it forever. Reason 1. You are on a cord. Not free, not really. The narcissist does not fully release people who have been useful to them. They keep you on an invisible elastic cord. You can walk away, you can build distance, you can create an entirely new life. But as long as that cord exists, the return is not a question of if, it is only a question of when. And they hold the other end, always. Reason 2. They watch you heal, and they time their return at your weakest moment. After the discard, the narcissist maintains visibility into your life, through mutual contacts, through social media, through information gathered from people around you. They monitor your progress, they observe your healing, and they choose the moment of return with precision, not when you are strongest, when you are most open to being reached again. Reason 3. Their supply ran low, not their love for you returned. Something in their current life stopped working. The person they were using for supply became unavailable, became boring, became wise to them. So they go back through their rotation of former victims. And you, with your history, your familiarity, your established emotional response, become the most efficient available option. You were not chosen. You were defaulted to. Reason 4. The urge you feel to respond when they contact you is not love. It's a trauma bond, a psychological attachment formed through cycles of reward and punishment, idealization followed by devaluation, warmth followed by withdrawal. The bond it creates is powerful precisely because it was formed through inconsistency. The urge you feel, the pull toward them, is that bond activating, not your heart speaking, your nervous system responding to a pattern it was conditioned to follow. Reason 5. You are not the only one. Narcissists rarely pursue just one former supply source at a time. They maintain a rotation, a list of people from their past who have responded before, who have shown they are reachable, who have demonstrated that the cord still has tension. You are likely not the only person receiving contact right now. The one who responds first receives the most immediate attention. The return feels personal. It is operational. The one way to stop it? Complete silence. Not strategic silence that monitors their reaction. Not silence as a tactic to make them chase. Genuine, permanent silence that gives them nothing. No response to any stage. No engagement. No visibility into your life. No opening for negotiation. Because silence is the only language that a person who feeds on your reaction cannot speak. They have a response to your anger, to your hurt, to your hope, to your guilt. They have no response to nothing. When you go completely silent, the narcissist goes through 5 stages in this exact order: confusion, anger, love bombing, flying monkeys, rage. Each stage more intense than the last. Each stage designed to produce one specific outcome: your response. If you survive all 5 without breaking, something changes. They move on. Not because they respect your silence, because you have become unreachable. And unreachable supply is useless to them. One response resets everything. This is the most important practical fact about stopping the cycle. It does not matter how many days of silence you have maintained. One reply, one read receipt, one visible emotion resets the clock completely. Gives them confirmation that you are still reachable, still reactive, still available at the right level of pressure. The silence only works if it is complete, not mostly complete, complete. And the strength required to maintain that completeness is exactly what every stage of their response is designed to break. They did not miss you. They were still hungry. This is the truth that reframes everything. Their return is not evidence that you were special. It is evidence that they are still hungry.
And you, with your history, your established emotional response, your proven willingness to respond, were the most efficient available option when something else stopped working. You were not irreplaceable to them. You were accessible. Do not confuse being chosen with being useful.
3 signs that they will come back. First, they needed too much too soon. Intensity at the beginning that moved faster than genuine trust. Second, they responded to your no with punishment, anger, guilt, withdrawal, any response other than acceptance. Third, they made you feel responsible for their emotional state. If you felt like their happiness depended on your compliance, that responsibility was placed there deliberately, and it means the cord is still there.
5 stages a narcissist goes through when you ignore them. Stage 1, confusion. Stage 2, anger. Stage 3, love bombing. Stage 4, flying monkeys. Stage 5, narcissistic rage. In this exact order, without exception. Each stage is designed to produce one specific outcome, your response. Understanding these stages before they arrive is the difference between breaking at stage 3 and making it all the way through to the other side.
Your silence is not cruelty. This is something kind people struggle with at every stage of this process. The guilt of not responding, the feeling that silence is a form of violence, that you are doing something wrong by withholding yourself from someone who is clearly suffering. But the suffering they are displaying is the suffering of someone who has lost access to a resource they were extracting without your consent. Your silence is not cruelty. It is the withdrawal of consent. Even a negative response gives them what they came for. You think that responding with anger, with clear boundaries, with a firm no, sends a message of strength. It does not. It sends a message of access. It confirms that the message landed, that it produced an emotional reaction, that you are still inside the dynamic emotionally, even if you are outside it physically. Any response is a win for them. Nothing is your only move. Ask yourself this before you respond. Why now? Not what did they say, not do they mean it. Why this specific moment? What changed in their life that made this the moment to reach out? The answer will almost never be about you. It will be about something that stopped working for them, someone who became unavailable, a gap they need to fill. Why now tells you everything the message itself is designed to hide. Block on every platform, not as a dramatic gesture, as a practical one. The narcissist's ability to time their return perfectly depends on their ability to monitor your healing. They cannot time what they cannot see. Blocking removes their visibility completely. It removes the information they use to calculate the optimal moment of return. It does not just protect your peace, it removes the instrument they use to decide when to reach for you. Every time you let them back, the cycle resets. But it does not reset to the beginning equally. The idealization phase gets shorter each time. The devaluation arrives faster. The discard hits harder. Because each return confirms to them that you are available regardless of how they treat you. That confirmation removes any remaining incentive to behave differently. Every return makes the next cycle worse, without exception. The return means nothing. Your silence means everything. The emotional performance of the return message, the apology that sounds real, the memory that tugs at something in you, is designed to produce one thing, your response. And your response, once given, confirms that the cord is still intact. But your silence, complete and permanent, communicates something no message can undo, that the door is closed and it is not opening again. They do not come back because they love you. They come back because you worked. You provided something they needed: attention, validation, stability, emotional response, and something in their current situation stopped providing that. You were not missed as a person. You were missed as a function. The distinction feels brutal. It is also the most clarifying truth available to you. Because once you see yourself as a function in their system, the pull of the return message loses most of its power. When you do not respond, something shifts immediately, not gradually. The narcissist moves on to the next available source, and your healing, uninterrupted by their re-entry, accelerates. Every time you have allowed a return, you reset your own recovery to zero. Every time you maintain silence, you add time and distance to your healing that compounds over weeks. The silence does not just protect you from them, it protects the version of yourself you are working to rebuild. Your silence is not punishment. It is the only language that a person who feeds on your reaction cannot speak. They have a response to your anger. They have a response to your hurt. They have a response to your hope and your guilt and your exhaustion. They have no response to your complete and permanent absence, because absence gives them nothing to work with, nothing to twist, nothing to use. Your silence is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything that comes after. 3 rules from the Dark Doctrine. First, do not respond to any contact. Not with anger, not with explanation, not with closure. Nothing. Second, block on every platform immediately. Remove their visibility into your life completely. Third, before the urge to respond overwhelms you, ask why now? Not what they said, why this moment? The answer will protect you better than any boundary you could set. Silence, block, ask why now, starting today. You already know what you need to do. The only question that has ever stood between you and the silence that frees you is whether you are ready to stop giving your reaction to someone who was never going to give you anything real in return. Subscribe to the Dark Doctrine. New video every single day, because what comes next goes even deeper than this.